Hello everyone, this is Teacher Justina and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, then do not forget to like, share, and to comment below, and do not forget to hit the notification bell for more video updates. Our video for today will be about quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Okay, so let us have this examples. We are going to solve the roots of the following quadratic equations by the quadratic formula. Okay, so we have four examples, and then we need to follow these following steps. Step 1, we need to set the equation to its standard form. The standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 if it is not yet on its standard form. The second step will be we need to remove grouping symbols by applying distributive property if needed. And then third step, we will be determining the A, B, and C in the equation. So the A, B, and C are the constants or the numerical coefficients of the quadratic equation. And then after getting the A, B, and C in the quadratic equation, we need to substitute the A, B, and C in the formula. So the formula for getting the value of the variable using the quadratic formula is this. The formula says that x is equal to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, where the b is our b or the linear term numerical coefficient, and then okay, the double sign is there, the plus and minus before the radical expression b squared minus 4ac, and this is all over 2a. Okay, so let us answer this number 1. X squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, and so for step 1 is we need to uh, set it to its standard form, and this is already on its standard form. So we will be getting our a. So our a, or the quadratic term numerical coefficient, is positive 1. Our b, that's the numerical coefficient of our linear term, which is 5. And our c is equal to 6. So using the formula, x is equal to negative and our b is 5. Then double sign plus minus. And we have our b is 5. 5 square minus 4. Our a is 1. And our c is 6. And this will be all over 2 times 1. Okay, and this will be negative 5 and then plus minus. The 5 squared there is 25. The 4 times 1 times 6 is equal to 24. And this will be all over 2 because 2 times 1 is 2. And this will be negative 5 plus minus 25 minus 24 will gives us square root of 1. And that is over 2. So there's this time we will be getting our first x, and it will be using the plus there. So the square root of 1 is 1, and this will be over 2. So therefore our first term will be negative 5 plus 1 is equal to negative 4 over 2, and thus our x of 1 is equal to negative 2. Next, getting our x of 2 is we have to use the negative because we are then using the positive. So negative 5 minus a 1 all over 2, and this will be negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6 over 2, and therefore our x sub 2 is equal to negative 3. And how do we know if our answer is correct? So let us go now to check. So original equation is x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. So if x will be negative 2, so negative 2 squared plus 5 times negative 2 plus 6 equals 0. And this will be positive 4 minus 10 plus 6. And this will be negative 6 plus 6. Thus, they are equal. And using the negative 3, so therefore the original equation is This will be substituted by negative 3 plus 5 times negative 3 plus 6 is equal to 0. And this will be positive 9 minus 15 plus 6 is equal to 0. And this will be, they are equal. So let us answer this example number 2. X squared equals 3x minus 1. And so far, this is not yet on its standard form. So we need to transform it. So x squared, and that 3x will be transposed, and that negative 1 will be also transposed, and that will be positive 1. So x squared minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. And for that, our a is positive 1, our b is negative 3, and our c is positive 1. So substituting it to the formula, x will be negative, but our b itself is negative 3. We need to be careful of the sign. So plus minus, our b is negative 3. Then we need to square it, minus 4 times 1 times 1. And this will be all over 2 times 1. And next is we are going to multiply the negative and the negative. This will becomes positive. And then plus minus. The negative 3 will becomes a 9. And this will be minus 4 because 4 times 1, okay, will be 4. And this will be over 2. Okay, so our x is equal to 3 plus minus square root of 5. And then all over 2. So our first x is x of 1 is equal to 3 plus square root of 5. But there is a denominator, so 2. Thus, we can have it in this way. So our first term is x of 1 is equal to, or our first value of x is 3 halves plus 5 halves. And our second value is 3 halves because we are done with the plus, so we have the minus this time. And this is our second value of x. So to further check if our values are correct, we will just use at least one value because our value is irrational. So the value of our x is an irrational. So when can we say our value is irrational? If it is containing a radical sign and then it is not a perfect square. So using the first root, which is 3 halves, and then plus square root of 5 over 2. So the original equation is x squared is equal to 3x minus 1. Remember that our x is this. So therefore, we have to substitute it now. 3 halves plus square root of 5 over 2. Thus, this is already our x to the power of 2. Okay, is equal to 3x, so 3. And our x is 3 halves plus square root of 5 over 2. And that will be minus 1. So this is already squaring a binomial. Thus, we need to square the first term. So that is 3 halves square plus twice the product of the first. So the first and the second term, and then plus squaring the last term. So our last term is square root of 5 over 2. And this is to the power of 2 is equal to, this will be distributed. This will be 9 halves plus this 3 will be multiplied to square root of 5 over 2. Okay, minus 1. So to further simplify, the 3 halves square will be 9 over 4. And then plus the 2 times 3 will be 6. Then we just attach the square root of 5, and this will be, the 2 and 2 will be multiplied. This will be 4. And squaring square root of 5 over 2, this will become a 5. And this will be over 4 because the 2 will be squared. The square root of 5 will be squared. That is why we have a 5. Then squaring a 2 is a 4. So is equal to, this one will be added. And remember that the 2, the negative 1 is understood. There is a denominator, 1. So our LCD in there is 2. So 2 divided by itself is 1 times 9. We have a 9. And then 2 divided by 2 will be 1 times 3, square root of 5. And then 2, understood there is a denominator 1. So 2 divided by 2, 1 is 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So for that, we will be now simplifying them. Uh, the 9/4 and the 5/4 could be added. And this will be 14 over 4. And then we just remain, the 6 over 4 can be reduced into 3 uh, over 2, and but there is still a square root of 5 in there. What we are reducing only the 6 and 4. Okay, so remember the 5/4 is being added to 9/4 already. So this time, the 9 and 2 are both constant. So 9 minus 2, it will gives us a 7. And then plus 3 square root of 5, and this will be over 2, and this will be also over 2. So are they equal? So remember that the 14 over 2 can be reduced by dividing 14 by 2 as well as 4 dividing by 2. This will become 7 halves plus 3 square root of 5 over 2 is equal to 7 halves plus 3 square root of 5 over 2. Therefore, they are equal. Okay, let us have this example number 3. Okay, so far we are going to distribute first the 2 there. So we will be having now a 2w squared minus, okay, done, distributing, and the 2 times negative 2w is 4w, and then we can transpose the 5 to the left. So therefore, this is already uh, our quadratic term. I'm sorry, quadratic equation. So if this is our quadratic equation, our a there is already 2, and then our b is negative 4, while our c is negative 5. Okay, so therefore, let us now go substitute to the formula. X is equal to negative, and then our b is negative 4, and then plus minus negative 4 is our b, negative 4 square minus 4. Our a is 2, okay, and our c is negative 5, thus over 2 times 2. So to further simplify, this will be positive 4 already, and then plus minus, that will be 16, and then that will be 8. Negative 8 times negative 5 will be negative, positive 40. So negative 8 times negative 5 is positive 40. So therefore, this will be over 4. And for that, our first and second x is, okay, are taken from the step before that. So that is square root of 56, and then all over 4. So our first x is, so we are not yet getting the first x. This time we will be getting now the first x. We have x sub 1, which is 4 over 4, and then a plus square root of 56, and then over 4. So therefore, our first term, or I'm sorry, our first x is 1 plus square root of 56 over 4. And then our second x will be positive 1 minus square root of 56 over 4. So it's up to you if you want to check your work, if you want to prove if your values of x's are correct. Okay, so let us have this next example. Z times z minus 1 is equal to 3. Thus, we are going to distribute first. The z there will become z squared. And then the z times negative 1 is negative z. We can now transpose the 3 there, so it could be negative 3 already. And this will be equated to 0. So for that, our A is 1 because there is a 1 in there. And our B is negative 1 because there is a negative 1 in here, understood? Okay, and our C is negative 3. So to use the formula, we have x is equal to negative times negative 1 plus minus. The B is negative 1 square minus 4 times A, which is 1, and C, which is negative 3. Okay, this will be all over 2 times 1. Okay, so x is equal to positive 1 plus 1. Okay, and then 4 times 1 is 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So positive 12. Okay, and this will be over. And remember that is a double sign and this is times 2. Okay, next we have to get the first x, which is 1 half plus square root of 13 over 2. And our second x will be 1 half minus square root of 13 over 2. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to check if your values of x are correct. Okay, so far. So I think we were able to get our A correctly and our B, which is also correct, negative 1, and our C is negative 3. So therefore, to substitute them, we have 1, negative 1 square, and then that will be. So therefore, we are done with this number 4. I will be leaving to you the checking. Okay, so let us try this next example. 2x plus 6 is equal to x times x plus 1. So as you have seen, they are not yet on its standard form and we need to remove some grouping symbol, which is a parenthesis. So we will be rewriting 2x plus 6 is equal to, so we'll be distributing the x and the x there, so x squared, and then x times 1 will be x. Okay, it is known that all the terms should be transposed to the left. So the negative x squared will be transposed. Okay, so it's a negative x squared. So we have negative x squared. Then the minus x. The positive x transpose, it will become negative. The positive 2x will be rewritten. We need not to change the sign. The positive 6 still the same, positive 6. Okay, and for that, okay, we need to try see if there are some terms that need to be combined, and so far the 2x and the negative x can be combined because they are similar terms. So negative x plus 2x will becomes positive x because we can subtract the 2x and the x, and then plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, this time uh, to avoid a negative quadratic term, we need to multiply all by negative 1. So multiplying all terms, okay, by negative 1. So that negative 1 will be distributed. So this will become positive x squared. That negative 1 will be distributed to the x. So it will become negative x, and then negative 1 times 6 will becomes negative 6. So 0 times any number, the answer is 0. So for that, our A is 1, our B is negative 1, and our C is negative 6. We are now ready. Substitute to the formula. So x is equal to negative, our B is negative 1, and then plus minus. So the B squared there is negative 1. I'm sorry, the B there is negative 1, so we will be squaring it, minus 4 times our A is 1 and our C is negative 6. And this will be over 2 times 1. So to further simplify, we have positive 1 and then double sign and then 1. And what is negative 4 times 1 times negative 6 will gives us positive 24 all over 2. And this will be x is equal to 1 half plus 1 plus 24 is the square root of 25. But the square root of 25 is 5. So, to further simplify for our x sub 1, we have 1 plus 5 is equal to 6 over 2. Thus, our first x is 3. And our second x will be coming from 1 half minus 5 halves. And this will be 1 minus 5 is negative 4 over 2. So our second value of x is negative 2. So therefore, the values of our x in the given 2x plus 6 is equal to x times x plus 1 or 3 and negative 2. Uh, okay guys, thank you for watching and I hope you've learned something from my video today. And to learn more, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share, and do comment below for more video updates. This has been Teacher Justina, and thank you for watching.